in one of the gutsiest performances that you'll ever witness in MMA history, in UFC history. He ends up winning the next 3 rounds, retains the title, and now he's sitting pretty. Of course, we're talking about Le Prédateur himself, the reigning defending UFC heavyweight champion. There he is, Francis Ngannou. Let me just stand up right here for Francis. My guy, Francis. My guy. What a win, Francis. What a freaking win. Félicitations, mon ami.
Merci beaucoup. Merci.
Wow. Can you even put into words? What does it feel like to go through all of that and be here on Monday as still the champion?
Oh man, it feels so great. Basically after what's happened in the past 2 weeks, I just feel like a different person. I discover a other side of me, and going into this fight, I was just about to prove myself that, man, I'm a warrior. I'm gonna do this. I get this regardless, and very, very, very tough past 3 weeks, So, but after that, the feeling of it is pretty different. You feel very courageous and proud, happy of taking that decision, even though he was very risky. Not very smart, but
it adds to the story. So, could we go back to the night that you injured your knee? What happened? Tell us the story.
He was at the sparring. He was Tuesday, the 25th. No, the 28th. Yes, I believe so. Exactly 25 days before the fight. So we were sparring. Then the guy grabbed my leg, and then my toes get stuck on the canvas. Then I was turning, so my knee twist, and I heard the crack. And the next day, I did the MRI, and the report came out really, really bad, really bad. Like they told me I had a grade 3 MCL, I had a MPFL damage, and I have a ACL damage as well. So they was just waiting for me to call out the fight. Then obviously I didn't know that I would fight, but I didn't want to call out the fight and then find myself 2 weeks after feeling better. So I'm like, I'm holding on into this until like the last minute. So yeah.
How much pain were you in?
Very painful. Like I need braces in the first 2 weeks. I was wearing braces until 1 week before the fight. And then, I was it was very painful. Like the MCL that was torn was very painful. Even like moving my leg tonight, I couldn't really train at all. But we managed, even when I taped it to hitting me, like just moving my leg was so bad. But, we get used to it, find a way, my team and I, we find a way to adjust our training. Didn't do anything that can re-injure it anymore. So just take on like a little bit or like striking. The good thing is that by that time, I was really in a good shape. I was already at 265, cutting down to 265 at that time. So I was really in a good shape. So I knew that as far as conditioning and everything, I had everything ready at that point. So I just need to be good and go,
How close were you to actually saying, I can't, there's too much on the line, I can't risk this, my health, the contract, all that stuff, let's delay the fight? How close was that to happening?
Well, I think the only reason why I didn't cancel this fight was because there was just too much into it, and I was coming here to make a statement. And by that time, your ego, your pride speaks a little bit. I'm like, I'm not giving any chance to anybody to say anything, and that's the same fire that carries me into a fight because I didn't want to. I was thinking about it, and that was kind of like my strain. Like, man, I make it this far, and anybody want to take anything from me, I can prove it. Listen, at the end of the day, it's not the first time that I have to deal with. I have to face odds. I have to challenge all those stuff. So I knew that I have the ability to go out there and do something. It wasn't going to be easy at all, but he was possible.
I feel like this is a stupid question to ask someone who has overcome so much in his life, but I'm going to ask you anyway. At any point in this process, did you feel like, man, this is just a lot? Like this, there was a lot of pressure on your shoulders. No one has really bet on themselves like this in recent UFC history. And then you add the injury, and you add Fernand, and you add Cyril, and all the stuff with the UFC. At any point, did it feel just like a lot going into the fight, pressure-wise?
Honestly, he was a lot. Like I felt a lot of pressure, but as I said, a lot of people go through a lot of things and they overcome, and that's why me being a fighter means not only in the octagon, in a life, people go through a lot of drama in their own life. So I mean, but that's still not a good excuse enough to give up. I think the only moment that you lose is the moment that you give up. But if you keep fighting, that's not losing, regardless the outcome. So I was going to do everything possible, and I really I knew that losing was an option. But at the end of the day, listen, I was I was in peace with myself, with what I have done, with the work that I'm putting. I'm like, I'm gonna give my best, and if at the end of the day, my best, doesn't provide me the result, but I'm check and make sure that I give everything. I'm okay with that. I don't care, and I know that I will overcome and come back from anything that could possibly happen at this time. I'm not afraid of challenges anymore at this point.
Did the UFC try to fix the situation to give you a better deal before the fight so that you didn't go in on the last fight? Did any talks happen in the weeks leading up to it?
Yeah. Yeah. But by that time, he was. I didn't want to get that as additional pressure or something. I didn't even want to hear about it. I was so like, I have too much in my plate. Like, I can't control. My plate is even small to carry everything that I have going on right now. So I don't want to deal with that. I just want to get past this and rethink about my life.
Was it a good deal, or did it not even get to that point?
It's a good deal is very relative.
Good point. Good deal for you?
Good deal? No good deal for me. More money, but no. He didn't carry any of the claim that I have. No, really, not at all. So no, yeah, and the money was tempting. It was good, but this is not just about money. By this moment, I think it's a lot more than money. Like, just the money cannot fix this situation. I do believe that.
Dana White mentioned last week a bunch of times that he saw you at dinner. He was sitting next to you. It was just a coincidence, and you guys were able to talk. What is your take on that story? Is that true? Did you guys see each other at a dinner randomly?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes. He was true. We met at dinner, and he was like a coincidence, and we had a good talk. Like, personal wise, we didn't get any business involved because we both know that our business situation is not really good. We just talk personally, respectfully, and that was it.
Was it awkward last week in the hotel, in the buildup? You're there, you're doing media stuff, you're talking about, UFC finances. People don't talk about this stuff. You're doing the Daily Show with Trevor Noah, and you're putting a spotlight on stuff that people aren't really aware of outside of the MMA world? You're seeing maybe Fernand and Cyril. Like there was a lot going on for you, Francis, last week. I don't know if you know this, but it was a lot. Was it awkward at all for you? Was it uncomfortable for you?
There was a lot going on, and I knew that a long time ago. I've been preparing my mind. I've been visualizing the situation, and I was like, okay, maybe it's gonna even be like something like what happened in Madison Square Garden. Maybe they're gonna like make me go somewhere and film it and get us bust into each other, all those stuff. But at the end of the day, that doesn't matter because right here, the only thing that matters is the fight. You win this fight, he solves all your problems, So I really get focused into that and didn't want to let any of that get into my mind. Because I know like most of this stuff was all about strategy to distract me. Like, they are no fool. They know that like if Francis good in his mind is a potential danger of everybody out there, even the evolution of the MMA, as they said, Francis is a danger for everyone. So they want to take your mind out of it, out of the most important stuff, and like distract you with all this thing. I'm like, you're not getting into me with this. Like, and by the fight week, I wasn't even frustrated or thinking about all those stuff anymore. I was very relaxed. I was very chill. I'm like, listen, at this point, you don't have to fix anything. You just have to do what you have to do and move on. And, it works pretty good. It worked pretty good for me.
Yes. And I'm building up to the fight here. There's just so much to ask you about. What's up? Can I just ask, what's up with this French media, Francis? Why are they disrespecting you like this? I see at the press conference, these guys, what's up with that? Why they don't accept you as one of the, what's happening over there?
Oh, because I was fighting a French guy. So
yeah, but you
now,
called France home too. I mean, you've always represented France, I think.
Oh no, that's how it happened in France. In France, when you lost, you're Cameroonian. When you win, you're French Cameroonian or French.
Gotcha.
And this time, I was fighting a real French guy. So they build up the story of the villain and the good guy. I mean, it's just media. And after the fight, a lot of them they just changed their mind. Some people just wrote back an article like a French Cameroonian returned his title, all those stuff. It's media. You can't control that. But regardless of that, I know that I have a huge fan base in France. I have people in France who love me, and that's all what matters. That's all people that I represent when in France, my fans, my friends, those who even became my family, that's why I'm happy about France. It's not about me.
Were you aware that come Saturday, a lot of people, Francis, started to hit me up. It was on Twitter. Oh, Francis might be hurt. Knee is messed up, all this stuff. Were you aware that it was starting to get out? And were you worried?
I was aware.
Were you worried that he was going to find out and try to attack?
Oh, I know. I know he knew. By that time, he knew.
Really?
For sure. Yeah.
How do you know he knew?
He knew. I knew.
You think someone told him?
Of course.
Do you think the UFC told him?
I don't know who told him, but I knew he knew.
Okay. And so were you worried about this? Your confidence? How did you feel?
Well, I still feel good because I saw a doctor on Tuesday. The last time I saw a doctor out here in LA on Tuesday, and he recommended me one more time to not to fight. But at the end and he also said at the end of the day, it's my call. Anything can happen, but nothing might not happen as well. So I'm like, I'm getting this fight, because like. It's been a lot of things going into this fight, and I didn't want to give an excuse for anybody to like take this stuff anywhere longer. I was just tired of it, and I wanted to shut this down, and I was able to do everything. He was definitely like very stupid of thinking how I was thinking, but I'm like, listen, if I even have that irreversible damage that you guys are talking about, but I win this fight, I'll be okay with it.
Wow.
That's how going into this fight, it was in my mind. Like, that was the situation.
So just to be clear, to repeat, on the Tuesday before the fight, 6 days ago, you go to a doctor in LA and he says, my medical opinion is you should not take this fight in 6 days.
Yes,
5
Dr.
days at that
Andrade.
point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
4 days.
Yeah, 4 days.
From the
Yeah,
fight,
4
yeah.
days. My math sucks. And you were like, yeah, okay, I'm still going to do it.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was ready. I mean, in my mind, I was ready. My body wasn't really good. I was ready. I was in shape. I trust my conditioning. And by the way, I have to shout out to Kyle Larime at the USCPI. He's been working on my conditioning in the past 2 years, and if it's not 3 years. And I knew that I'm gonna get into 5 rounds if I have to get there. Regardless, I know that I can. So I was confident about that. The work that is being putting in to get my conditioning and all the stuff. And I know that they're counting me out on that one. So I'm like, I get you. I had a lot of trick in my pocket. So, and I have all this stuff based on my little experience. I know he won't be easy, but he will be possible.
What's going on in the first 2 rounds? In my opinion, you won 3 rounds to 2. You won 3, 4, and 5. No question about it. First 2 rounds, it was looking a little bit dicey. What did you think? What's going on in your mind in those first 2 rounds?
Oh, the first 2 rounds, I was thinking about my knee all the time. Like moving forward, like want to switch guard, want to do this. Or I'm like, oh, the canvas is slippery, or this, couldn't really move. And he was moving a lot. And I couldn't really move laterally without thinking about my knee. I'm like, man, that wasn't very stable. And, but the part of the strategy as well, and that was what Usman was there for. He was like, just put this guy pressure. We know that I didn't have or the ability to stand there and knock him out. So put him in pressure. We know that this fight can go to the 5th round. But if he go to the 5th, if I put him the pressure in the 2 rounds, obviously I'm definitely gonna take some damage, basically on my front leg. But I'm gonna get him to the point that he's tired as well and stop moving a lot and stop doing all those stuff. So by the 2nd round, I'm like, man, I'm losing this fight. And then came back in the 3rd round, handled it pretty good. And at the end of the 3rd round,
Oh, wait a second. We lost your audio, Francis. Can you hear me? Francis, all of a sudden your audio went out and we don't hear you anymore. I don't know, maybe it's the headphones? I see you perfect, but the audio just went out in your headphones. I don't know if it was the Oh, you back? I hear you now, I think. Can you say something?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you. The audio went out for just a quick second there.
But I can hear you.
You cannot hear me?
No.
You lost me. Let's see. You hear me? Hello? You hear me?
Yep, good.
All right.
I can hear you now.
That was weird. I don't know what happened. So we lost you there for just a second. You said 3rd round is when I think you started to gain that confidence, when you started to feel like you can turn this around.
No, by the end of 10 round, I look at him. I saw me when I first tipped the first time. I'm like, this guy is done. Yeah.
Wow.
And he wasn't even able to listen to his coach. I was listening to his corner, talk to him, and he wasn't reacting. I'm like, he's done. This exactly me when I first tipped it the first time. That's the moment that I knew that I won the fight.
What a visual.
At the end of the 3rd round.
That is incredible. That's when you started, because you felt like you broke him with the takedowns?
Oh, yes, he was broken. I could have tell. Like, I look him in his eye, I'm like, this is a done deal.
Wow. How was your cardio at that point?
Oh, I was good. I mean, I was definitely tired, but I knew I was able to control my mind and to feel everything, but I knew he wasn't able to do that anymore. He wasn't listening even.
Wow. And you can obviously hear what they're saying, right? I mean, you understand what they're saying? Yeah. And what are you thinking when he goes for that leg lock in the 4th round? What's going through your mind?
Oh, that was pretty. Yeah, that was pretty good for me because he was on my good leg, and I know that, and I was also tired too. So I was kind of like trying to like use the position, win on the time, and when he get that leg lock, I'm like, because he didn't have it, I was just making sure that he doesn't lock my hips, and as soon as my hips, as long as my hips is not locked, he couldn't lock my knee, he couldn't get a knee lock or something. So he was squeezing. I'm like, good, keep going, like keep going. This is how you lose energy. I was very like relaxing because it's gonna get him more tired. He's gonna give me more position. He's gonna lose hope. Basically, like when you have something like that, you think you have something, and then you finally lose it. You're like, damn, fuck, what the hell is this? And that was exactly the same thing. I was very happy at that moment. Like,
So then it's 2-2 going into the 5th. And I posted this and I spoke to Eric, your coach, about it. I love when he said, I believe in you, MFer. I believe in you. We've been through so much. Like, it was just such a great moment and you freaking dug down deep and did it. Could you even remember that 5th round? I mean, that was clutch, man.
I remember. I remember everything, even the 4th round. I remember, like, he was there talking and said, Dewey, do you have something? And Dewey would say, yes, this. Everything that they were saying, I was able. I mean, it's the first time that I was able to really understand like what my corner was saying all the time. Even during the fight, I was able to listen to both corner and very lucid about everything. Wow. You know, like they was talking. Usman was behind me talking, and I could have listened to him. Like everybody was telling me, because before we go there, everybody has his own role. What he has to keep reminding me, and Usman was there talking about like the timing, the pressure, the this, you know, Dewey was there, Eric was there, everybody was talking. So, and all that made me feel like, okay, we are doing this right. And even at the going to the 5th round, they say, okay, this is 2-2, 2-2 now, go take the win. I mean, by that time, I wasn't thinking about my knee anymore. Like I was like, we get this done. You know, since the 3rd round, I was like, this is a done deal. Like, let's go finish. You know, obviously I feel the fatigue, but I'm like, I just have to control this, take position, you know. Very good enough by that time.
You have had massive wins in your career. I mean, your last one was as big as it gets over Stipe, but would you say that moment when they announced that you had won, when Bruce Buffer said you'd won, is that the greatest moment of your professional career?
You mean this this weekend?
Yeah.
Yes. With everything going on, yeah, because this wasn't just a fight. This was I was just not fighting in the octagon. This was like everything that I was fighting for, everything that I stand for. You know, he was way more beyond the fight. He was for my principle. It was for things that I believe into, you know. So that was the reason why I was fighting. I mean, like, even when they're trying to reach out for a deal, they came out with a good amount of money. I'm like, at this point, that doesn't matter. I let all that down on the table. Like, I don't even care. I'm taking my 600,000. I'm going there. I'm doing this, and I'm winning everything.
Is that number accurate? The number that came out, you made 600 for that fight?
Yeah.
Wow.
I did.
Could you tell us what they offered you? Dare I ask?
I let a lot more on the table.
Yeah. How much?
Overall?
Yeah.
I've been letting a lot of money on the table, Ariel, even since the Stipe fight. By now, I might be down at least 7 million that I let on the table.
So you said,
but I'm still happy. I'm still happy with my 600 because I still fight for what I go for. And this is the thing, like, there's two things. Freedom doesn't work with money. You give up one for one. Whether you want a freedom, whether you want money, you give up one to gain one.
Right. So does that mean, when you say freedom, does that mean you want to be free, that you don't want to fight for the UFC anymore?
You can be free and fight for the UFC.
How?
I just want to be free.
How can you be free and fight for the UFC, in your opinion?
I mean, so we are supposedly an independent contractor.
Mm-hmm.
Independent contractor technically is a free person.
Sure. But you know how it is,
So
right? The contracts are very restrictive, right? You can't go box. You can't do this.
And that's the reason why they need some adjustment in that contract. That's what I've been fighting for.
So when you say it's not just about the money, you said that, right? It's not just about. Could you say to the world, what do you want? What is it about then? Freedom is, but like, what are you looking for? Is there anything specific that you can share? I know you don't have to go through your whole entire life goal here, but what is it that's really bugging you about what they're offering and what maybe they're not offering?
The term of the contract, everything that they put into, they hold you like in captivity. Like you can't do anything. You have no right. The contract is one-sided. Although you still don't have nothing, you don't even have a health insurance while you're doing this, putting your body on the line to put on the show, risking everything. There's a lot of things, man. We have no insurance, nothing, like no guarantee, which I understand for independent contractor, but treat me as such then. If I am, I mean, whether I'm going to be an employer or an independent contractor, but make it very clear in the contract. It's very mixed up.
And so to be clear, now that you're still a champion, your deal is done at the end of the year, regardless of if you're a champion or not, right?
Yeah, and that was the case even before this fight. I took this fight just to make a point.
And you said you're not fighting anymore.
When I get injured, everybody, my team, they're like, what are you going to gain into this fight? You're not getting money. You're not getting nothing. If you sit down, it's the same situation. Like, yes, we understand that you want to fight, you want to be active, but be smart. I'm like, yeah, but at some point, be smart is just being dumb, being dumb is also being smart. Like I'm doing this, for the principle. That's the reason why I took this fight, because I saw that what happened after the Stipe fight, I was doing this behind the scene and nobody really know what was going on. And the UFC went out there, they're trying to like really damage my brand. Like I didn't like that part. And then I think that exactly that's probably the thing that I hated the most about this, like how they hold all the card, the power to like just destroy you as soon as you don't say yes for the acclaim. They just take you down. And I don't know. There's something wrong with me with those kind of things that I can't just take it.
Does that go back to maybe when you were a kid? Is there something like, I was just about to ask you that, seems like it's something ingrained in you. It's a very sensitive subject for you. It's a very personal thing. Does that date back to how you were treated as a kid? Is this relating to something else that you went through in your life?
I don't know. I just know that I love freedom and I'm in America, which is a country of freedom. So I should have that.
Do you still want to fight for the UFC?
Good question. Do the UFC still want me to fight there?
Do you think they do?
Oh, you should ask them. They should be the one answering that question.
But what about you? Do you want to fight for them?
If they make things right, yes.
But you are willing?
That's all what I've been saying.
Are you willing to walk away if necessary?
I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get what I want. Listen, as I said, even before this fight, I walked into this fight. No, I could have lost this fight. But I reviewed everything. I reviewed everything. But in me, I'm like, if this is it, if this is the end, let it be on my way. It's gonna be on my way. I'm gonna make the call how he ends. He won't end on somebody's room he will end on my own rules, you know. And if this is the end, man, I'm happy. From where I came from, I have done a lot.
Man,
Some people might not see that, but I have done it, and I'm very happy about that. I'm proud of myself, man.
you should
Like
be.
that might be my ego, but I'm proud of myself of what I have achieved, and it's nothing, you know. So, but I don't want all this to like take what I have or to change me, to change my principle. My principle is still the same as day one. And with that, with my principle, I will never be poor. But I can still have the money being poor because I gave up all those stuff. Then I won't have any identity anymore.
Did you notice that it wasn't Dana who put the belt around your waist when it happened?
Yeah, I noticed it was. Yeah, I turned around and it was me.
How did you feel when you saw that?
Oh, bro, I don't care about that.
Yeah.
What's the difference? I make my point.
Yeah.
They could have, they could have even don't bring that belt. It would have be, I would have be okay with. Like, listen, I'm not here to like go after a little thing. This happened, that happened. I'm happy. That's all what matters.
So even him not showing up
I'm
to the press
happy.
conference, all that, everyone's going crazy over this, it didn't bother you.
I didn't even notice that he didn't show up in the press conference.
Right.
I mean, I don't make the call, and that doesn't bother me at all. I did what I supposed to do. I do my best to do it right and to do it in the best way, and that's all I know.
Do you need surgery?
I think so. I'm going to see a doctor today to clarify that. But they say my MCL can be reattached on his own, basically after the stem cell. But my ACL would definitely need a surgery.
Wow.
So I want to see if or if not. But yeah, I do need a surgery. That's for sure. But do I want to do it now? I will see.
Why wouldn't you want to
Again.
do it?
I don't know. It's a lot, man. It's gonna be a lot of months for recovery. Maybe I'm gonna take. I don't know. I want to do it, but right now, that's the question. Maybe after 1 month or something.
Mm-hmm. How does it
Yeah,
feel?
but I definitely need a surgery.
How does it feel like after the fight?
Yeah.
Because it said irreversible damage you can do. So like, how did it end up? Does it feel worse?
No. A little bit, but not too bad. It feels like maybe he was 1 week and a half ago, but not even as it was in the beginning. So I didn't take any damage on it. Not a big deal, you know. So yeah, but they said that the ACL doesn't hurt. Like the ACL won't cause pain. The but the only thing that cause pain would be the MCL. So after the MCL, I'm gonna be fine. I mean, if I have to hold on to an injury, to a surgery.
I know how sometimes these things go. Someone gets a big win, they try to make a deal that night. Anything come up after the fight? Locker room, anyone come up to you? We're going to figure this out. We're going to make it right. What do you think? Anything happen after the fight?
You mean after leaving the arena
Yeah.
without putting the band on my waist and don't show up in the press conference?
Yeah. Maybe Hunter.
What do you think?
Hunter, maybe. I don't know.
No,
No.
no. I think the only no, nothing happened after the fight. Couple things happened before the fight, but nothing happened after the fight. On the Saturday morning, my manager received an anonymous message who was very weird. Like we didn't know from who was that, but that message was very weird, very racist, um, insulting. Yeah, but and I don't know if yeah, yeah, going into this fight, going into the arena, like I dress up, I put my suit, and I walk to my uh, to the room waiting for my manager and my coach. And they was like, wow. And I'm like, what's going on? They told me that they just received an email from the UFC, said they're going to sue him from talking with this guy, Nikisa. Yeah.
Hmm.
And I'm like, who is Nikisa? I'm like, no, they was telling me, I don't know him pretty much, but somebody from Jake Paul team. And now I'm like, is it a promoter or something? Then I'm like, no. But once again, I don't know. So it doesn't look like they want to talk to me anymore.
What? Wait. First of all, the text message that you just, Francis, this is crazy stuff here. I'm gonna let you go, I promise. But
He's been a crazy stuff
dude,
since
Markel
yeah,
Martin is
a lot.
your manager slash agent. He posted
Yes.
the screen grab of this disgusting text
Yeah.
message. This absolutely
Oh, you
racist.
saw it?
Oh, he posted it on his Instagram. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah.
But just
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
disgusting, racist, horrible, and it seemed like they knew who he was, right? Because they referenced something maybe about like a previous job that he had or whatever, and it was from a 702 number, which of course is Las
Yeah,
Vegas.
702 Las Vegas. Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I don't know. I think somebody is very pissed off, which means we have been doing right thing.
Hmm. Do you have any guesses as to who it may be?
No,
Okay.
I don't have any guess since I have any proof.
And then as you're leaving to the arena, you guys get a letter that you're going to get sued?
Email.
Email, sorry.
Email.
Email that you're going to get
Yeah.
sued because you were talking to Nikisa Badarian, who's Jake Paul's business partner. Nikisa, you said, right?
Yeah.
The former
About
CFO.
boxing.
About boxing.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah,
true?
that's what this. What?
Have you been talking to him about boxing?
I don't know what the hell is this guy. First of all,
You never
and
met him.
secondly, he's not a. And second, I don't know him. I
Wow.
can recognize him if you put him in front of me. And secondly, like he's not a promoter.
Hmm.
I mean, and it's not like I can have a dialogue with people about boxing. I talk about boxing all the time, but I mean,
Man.
yeah.
So given all this, does this change your stance even more? Does this make you feel like you can't be in business with these people?
You know, you never know what's happening in business. As I said, if they came up right, I mean,
Okay.
but they have to really do some effort.
You understand the power you have now, right? You understand the leverage that you have. I mean, this is unlike any situation that we've ever seen. The heavyweight champion of the world, Francis, has all this going for him right now. You have all of this. How do you think this all plays out? What do you think? What does your feeling say right now?
Man, I don't know. I just know what I want. And I know at some point, or one way or another, I always have what I want because I fight for.
Do you think you fight again this year?
If I fight again this year, probably it's possible. I can't tell. You know, in the past 3 years, I've been fighting once a year, even though I wanted to fight more. So I can't really tell about that. I have no control on that.
You can't talk to anyone because you still have that 1-year champions clause, right? Like it's not like you can talk to other promotions, organizations till the end of the year, correct?
Yeah, but I still have until December.
Right. And are you and you are going to stick with that because you said recently you're not fighting again for this money, so you're going to wait it out.
Yeah. I think my due is paid, fully paid,
Yes.
or overpaid. I have paid my due. Whatever was in this contract, I pay it. I pay him a lot, by miles away.
Are you worried they will take the belt away from you?
They can't. No, I'm not worried about that because at the end of the day, it's just a belt, you know. And as soon as they take the belt away, I'm a free agent.
Oh, that's true. That's a good point. Francis, you're a smart guy, Francis. I don't care. I mean, this is amazing. This is an unbelievable situation.
But I earned the belt though. it's not that belt will make me be a champion. With it or without it, I'm still a champion.
Of
So
course.
let's be clear about that. Nothing will change my status of being a champion.
And before I let you go, I think the Tyson Fury thing, I've said, because you're, let's say you stay with the UFC, he's with Top Rank, ESPN. I feel like ESPN can make this fight very easily. Do you feel like you saw his tweet right to you? Do you feel like there's a real
Yeah.
possibility that this can happen?
Oh yeah. Listen, Tyson Fury and I, we have been going back and forth for over 2 years now, and I do believe that this fight will happen. And we thought this would be something that the UFC can make it big, because this is an option, that an opportunity that I have, and they could have like get involved and make it happen, you know. But I think it seems like it's not their concern.
Your impression was they weren't interested in it?
Yeah, I mean, regarding what is going on, doesn't look like they care about.
Would you like to see, Francis, because you have all this, this power, but also because you've lived through it, the fight, we've talked a lot
I
about.
have, don't get it wrong, I have no power. We are talking about 10 billions company. We are talking about,
I know.
I have no power, man.
You do have
I have
power.
no power.
You do have power because a lot of fighters are
No, no.
listening to you right now, and they've been through what you've been through, and they give you a lot of credit for speaking up and for not being afraid when you have this big spotlight on you. And so I'm wondering, do you think there will come a time, do you want there to come a time where the fighters have more of a collective voice, where there is an association, a union, where you guys have health insurance and pensions and all these things that would help, and maybe not the kind of contracts that you're talking about that are so one-sided, right? Do you think this has to
I,
happen?
I, yeah, I definitely think that something like that will happen. But you have to understand, like, fighter right here, we don't have power at all. The UFC, the company is so big, and even though we are hundreds of fighter, like, we are divided, and they treat everyone individually, and nobody can stand against them. So, like, when people talk about union, like, oh, fighters should do union, I'm like, you guys don't understand nothing. Like, there are people here who still fight for 10,000, for 15,000, and by the time that they have to fight again, they have loan, like they owe money, they have debt. So and you can't tell those guys, like, even though they could fight for more, even though they deserve more, you can't tell them like, oh, don't fight, just do union. No, they need to provide to their family. So it's going to be a very tough situation. And for those who like disobeyed and try something, they get caught right away. The UFC has the power to cut them at any time. So unless, like, for some reason, the UFC show a good faith and help to like do a union to prove that, okay, we are willing to do things right for fighters, uh, something like that can happen, because fighter has no power. You know, somebody has to, with a real power, has to show up and come support fighter on this one. Many hundreds of fighters out there, they are just waiting for their next fight to get a check to be able to pay their bills, because even though they might be there for years, they give themselves up for this every day, but they can't even sustain their daily basis life. Some people still have to get a side job. So how do you gonna ask this guy to sit down for a union or for this, you know? And and you can blame him, because the city is forced to do that. He doesn't have any choice. He doesn't have any power. He doesn't have any option, and pay his contract.
Hmm.
And that's what has to be fixed.
Did you see John Jones's tweets?
Uh, I think John Smith is passing by like a car on the boulevard, so it's really hard to follow.
You don't think he really wants to fight you?
I don't know. At this point, I don't know. And even though I would That's the problem.
And you're not even like I saw someone ask you at the press conference, oh, the money is like, even if it's 10 million, it doesn't matter for you if it's 10, 20 million. There's the other things that are bothering you, right? It's not just about that anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
No, it's not about that. He hasn't been about that
Right.
anymore. Like I've been in this, they put me in this position, and I felt powerless for so long, and I realized that this shouldn't happen. This is not right, and it shouldn't be happening. Even before the JDU, after the GTS fight, they wanted me to sign a contract, and I didn't want to sign a contract by that time, and they just started to freeze me, like put you down for 10 months, 11 months, get you go out of money. They know you're going to go out of money because they know exactly how much you're making, and they know that you can go so very far with that money. And they will just like, oh, a new deal, kind of like a way of forcing you to sign a new deal, the way that they operate, which is something that I can't comply to.
Is that when you started to realize that this was?
Oh, yeah. I know.
Okay, that was the turning point.
This been going on for over 2 years.
Wow. Last question for you, Francis. Thank you so much for the time. Really, you've given us too much time here, and I really appreciate it. Ultimately, could you tell the world, can you tell anyone who's listening, what does Francis want to happen in the next year? What if you could paint the perfect picture, what would it be?
The perfect picture, I think, is you mean for me, or
yeah, for you?
What do you mean?
For you.
I think it's the better contract structure.
Mm-hmm. Structure. That's the key word.
Yeah.
You going to get a parade back home in Cameroon again?
That's unavoidable. They have been calling me already.
That's right. When are you going back?
Yeah. I don't know yet. It's depend on what the doctor will say on my knee.
Okay, so you'll find out today.
Everything depends on that. Yes. Otherwise, I would have been in the airport by now.
Oh, okay. Amazing. Francis, I'm in awe of you, my friend, honestly. And I hope it doesn't come across like I'm just fawning over you here. I am in awe of you because I don't think people understand just how difficult it is what you pulled off this past week. It's a concoction that we've never seen, with the stuff with Fernand, with the stuff with the UFC, with the knee, all that stuff coming together. I'm really in awe of you and how you conduct yourself and the class and grace that you exemplify. I mean, my friend, you are the best that MMA has to offer, in my opinion. You have all of that, and I hope that you get everything that you are owed and that you have earned and that you've deserved for the longest time. So I just want to congratulate you on how you conduct yourself and how you are as a human being. And I hope, by the way, I don't know if you want this, but maybe hopefully one day you and Fernand can bury the hatchet. I don't know. Did that happen? Is there any chance of that? No? No. No chance. Okay.
I don't.
He didn't come up to you afterwards?
I mean, well, he came to shake my hand.
Did you shake it?
Yeah, we shake hands. He was inside the octagon. He was like sporty. I shake his hand for Cyril as Cyril coach, the guy that I just fought, the guy that will just give me opportunity. Yeah, so I think as a athlete, I have to shake the hand of his coaches.
But that's it.
That's it.
Okay.
Oh, that's it.
Respect. Mon ami.
Thank you, Arya.
You're the man. You really are. And I hope that the appointment goes well. You don't need surgery, speedy recovery, and keep fighting the good fight.
No, I need surgery. That's not questionable.
All right. I was just
how bad it is.
I was trying to put out the good vibes.
Thank you. No, that's clear. Like, that's unavoidable.
Oh, man. That just makes the whole story even crazier. Well, I hope you have a speedy recovery. All the best to you. Enjoy the victory. Enjoy the time off. And good luck with it. Now the new fight starts. Now it's a whole different fight that starts for you and continues, I should say. And I hope it all goes well for you.
Thank you, Arya. I appreciate you.
All right. I appreciate you. Always. Same here.
Thank you to all my friends out there. Thank you for all the support that I've been receiving. You know, this past few months shows me like the real value of my fans, like the real one who really support me. They really stood by my side. And that's also the reason why I was able to overcome this, like just feel too much support from all around the world and basically from my country. And going into the fight, I was just thinking about like what I've been receiving from my country, even from from the national soccer team. I'm like, man, I won't let these people down. Like, then if I don't do this, I'm letting them down, and that's not something that I'm willing to do. All the support, and they are playing tonight. I wish them all the best, and yeah, thank you for everyone for the
That is
support.
beautiful. Well done. You represented, my friend. Thank you so much, Francis. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.
Thank you. Thanks, Sonaria. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye. There he is. Bon courage à Francis. Unbelievable. I am in awe of that guy. I mean, again, not to beat a dead horse here, but I am truly in awe. I don't know. I'm happy New York Rick is here, and I'm not trying to be a prisoner of the moment. But that might be one of the most important interviews that we've ever done in the history of this show.